What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Virgil here, and welcome back to another episode here on Dragon Ball Legends. Today, I'm going to be bringing to you guys my part 3 of the 4th anniversary LF Ultra tier list. Do have some 1% in there, just because they're, worth it enough to throw on the top of units in the game. And a lot of the, higher rarity, higher ultra rarity LFs are usually the better options. But we're going to be rating all the LFs as well. I do have a part 1, part 2 of this list for 4th Annie, and I do think both of those lists are quite different considering how close they are from one another. A lot of units upgraded a lot of different teams, so a lot of fluctuation with rankings, especially within the top 10 of units. So do expect to see a similar outcome from this video. I didn't think prior of placements. I have a couple of placements in mind before I made this, but not too many, so all my takes are going to be raw here. And yeah, before we jump in, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, because I do upload every single day here. And without further ado, let us jump in. We do have the God tier, Z tier, S plus tier, S, and tier 1, tier 2. Do like to differentiate the S plus and S tier just because. And yeah, we got all our units here at the bottom here. I don't want to, really take too much time on the lessers. Beerus is going to be tier 2. We got Majin Vegeta, probably throw him in the top of tier 2. Goku Black we could throw in. I want to throw him. I threw him in the back of tier 1 last tier list. We'll probably do the same thing though. I think Majin Vegeta. I think these guys are at the bottom end of the barrel, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, Future is still really good. You could argue Goku Black is going to be carried by his team. I think the support with Droids, support with Future Gohan, being with LF Vegeta is great, Sword of Hope is great, Vegito Blue is great. So carried by his team, you could argue that he's going to be in the back of tier 1. But individually, Goku Black is not fantastic. Majin Vegeta still sucks. Vegeta Clan still sucks. Beerus is just bench on, bench. He's not a good unit. So a unit that I could probably throw higher up right off the bat is going to be this Revival Gohan. I can confidently say he is top of S plus tier. Being over a year old at this point, I think it's really impressive how valuable this unit still is. And unfortunately, I only have mine at 6 stars, so I'm not really running him too often in the top 100s, but all my ratings are going to be based off top 100, top 1000 rankings. And movies being one of, if not the best team in the game right now, I do think that Revival Gohan is core on that setup, paired alongside Ultra Gogeta, Dragon Fist, Tapion. He's receiving Tapion supported buffs. He has that revival. There's some things about him. He has the AoE green card. His damage is still phenomenal. And he has a team heal. Bunch of other stuff that you can kind of say. But overall, he is a glue for the movie setup. I think movies is phenomenal right now. And he's definitely aged very well. He's been on numerous setups, through his release. Sun Family, Hybrid Saiyans, Mono Purple. But yeah, right now, movies being one of the best teams, I'm definitely going to throw them on that high S plus tier spots. Majin Vegeta, this one should not even be here because there's a duplicate. We're going to throw Bardock in the back of, or in the front of tier, front of Rose in tier 1 right there. I could throw VB right next to Revival Gohan. I think VB has gained some insane value since the release of his Zenkai, at least. I did have Sword of Hope in front of him prior to, before this update, I guess, because Future was still, his main setup, and on Future, Sword of Hope, I think, is a little bit better than Vegito Blue. I mean, it's definitely arguable. They're very close to each other, but having VB be on another team now, having even more diversity than just Future and Godki, he's back on Fusions on a blue-blue-yellow variant setup with Ultra Super Vegito and Ultra Gogeta, countering one of the best teams, if not the best team still in the game, which is Red, Purple, Androids, MUI, Whis. And yeah, just overall, this unit was still fantastic. He's definitely had a glow up, had that kind of Zenkai Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta effect, to where he was not really interesting on like the night of or the first day of release, but he did gain insane value a couple days after. And the same thing with his VB, he's You know, back to being mainstream. He's on one of the best teams in the game, alongside both Ultras. You know, he has the lock-in blue, the blast armor, nuke ult. He's just a machine, pretty much. He's his ult machine, and he has a lot of, you know, battle control. But on that blue-blue-yellow setup, he's definitely phenomenal. I do think he's worth it of that S+ tier spot. So I'm going to go ahead and slap the best unit in the game on God tier. I mean, it's a no-brainer right now. And if you think otherwise, you're delusional. Androids remain to be the best unit in the game. At 2 stars, they're cracked. You know, they're a one-man army. All you need is to slap droids on a team, and you have a really good shot at winning the game. If you have priority, if you have a green card, they have the tag switch color advantage, disadvantage. You know, you could always be at an advantage at some point, or at least type neutral. Their damage just stacks on stacks on stacks. They are still boosted, so we do have that. They're going to be leaving the boost in about 2 days time from now, so we'll see if that fluctuates. I do believe they'll probably drop from 2 to 3 or 4, something like that, but I do think their damage is going to overall be the same. So their defenses, I'm a little bit iffy on, because they do have access to pure defenses thanks to that featured tier boost. But nonetheless, they are still the best unit in the game. If you think otherwise, you're coping, and you're just incorrect, realistically, right? There are other great, phenomenal teams out there right now, being movies, being Fusion Warriors, being, you know, whatever else. But Androids alone, still being on one of the best teams in the game, by the way. Red, Purple is arguably still the best team. If not, they're easily top 3 team. Individually, they're disgusting. So you could slap them on leader slot, any team. They're the best unit in the game without a doubt. Like, even with considering teams in mind. And with this, you know, I'm actually going to throw VB here. I'm going to throw VB above Revival Gohan. VB being, you know, a synergistic setup with droids, you know, future. You know, you don't really need to worry about leader slot in that position. I think, I forget how diverse VB is, and especially with the birth of Blue Yellow being a top 5, top 3 team. Movies is there as well, but I do think VB might actually have more diversity value, more overall value right now. It's definitely arguable between these two, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw VB above Revival Gohan for the most part. In Z tier, we could do some Z tier options right now. I'm going to throw the GOAT, MUI Goku in Z tier. By the way, no one else is touching God tier. Android's own God tier, if that wasn't clear enough. MUI, though, he has the free damage. He has the auto dodge mechanic. He has, you know, the free damage is based off the counter. He has the auto win on clashes. He has auto win on clashes, bro. If you don't think this man is top of the tiers, bro, he literally gets priority. You have to, you know, just bait out. You know, not a fan of you passive MUI players. I like to play MUI aggressively. Obviously, you have to stall in some instances, but definitely, you know, the way to use him is to play aggressive and bait out them clashes to gain priority. So, auto win clashes, his nuke ultimate, probably one of the hardest hitting ultimates in the game. Pair him on a team like Red, Purple, pair him with Whis. The green cards, infinite free damage. Dude is a monster. MUI is fantastic. You know, he is still boosted. We're going to see how his defenses differ afterwards, but he still has got the boost for a couple of seasons, I believe. So, reigning in that Z tier spot confidently right now, you know, on one of the best teams in the game. We're going to throw LF Super Saiyan 3 down here. He is below Bardock in tier 1. Bro is literally just a Zenkai bench. Never see this guy anywhere. Evo Vegeta, you can argue he is somewhere in tier 1. I'm going to throw him behind Bardock in tier 1. I do think Bardock has a lot more utility than this Evolution Vegeta. This UI Goku, I'm going to throw him. He's pretty bad nowadays. Obviously not taking a hit. I'm going to throw him in the back of tier. It's just painful at this point, man. But you could argue it. Me coping, I'm going to throw him in the back of tier 1. This is just me coping. You know, obviously, dude is not going to take a hit. It's the stalling to gain priority. That's the only value he really does have. So, realistically, we're going to throw him in the back of tier 2. I don't think UI Goku has much value, if any value right now. You know, no damage. Stalling's only going to get you so far. Might as well run Vergil, right? Vergil should be a higher tier than this UI Goku. realistically, which is kind of sad. We're going to throw Blue Boys in S tier. Right now, they are not super valuable. I mean, they haven't been super valuable since their release, since that whole Legends Fest fiasco. You know, they were on, double endurance with Sword of Hope and Future Gohan, and I thought that was a fantastic team. They were on Mono Purple when they were peaked out, and they're still only ran on Mono Purple as of right now. Don't believe any other team would really be viable for them. Their defenses are highly lacking. Their damage is mediocre, if not ran on Mono Purple. I think still on Mono Purple, they're ridiculous. Multiple Zenkai buffs, they're definitely going to hit really hard. But overall, just the diversity, and as much as I do see them, I'm going to have to rate them a little bit lower because I don't see them too often. So S tier for them. Hopefully they get a plat item soon, so you could run them on different setups. I did end up 14ing them on their original banner, and I was hoping for them to be have a lot longer longevity. But we're going to throw LF Piccolo somewhere in Tier 1. Regen is still really bad. I do think he's probably at the top of Tier 1, though, because Regen's getting there. It's getting there. They just got a buff with the Kid Buu plats. I think I could throw Kid Buu somewhere in S tier at this point. Somewhere in S tier would be reliable. I think I threw him in Tier 1 in the last tier list. But with the plat equip, I do think his damage is still really good, if not better. I didn't really use him prior to it, but I did see a lot of gameplay from both ends, before the equipment, after the equipment. His defenses are still atrocious. He gets one comboed very easily. I don't think I could put him any higher than S tier, honestly. I mean, paired alongside droids, he's great. Paired alongside, Regen's not that great. Not much diversity. You can only run him really on PO. LF Cell still being a menace. We're going to throw him in Z tier? Is that how I'm feeling? I think I'm going to throw Cell in Z tier, right? Cell is still deserving of Z tier as of right now. Future being a phenomenal team. PO being a phenomenal team. Paired alongside droids. Paired alongside future units. Supports. His plat equipment definitely shot him through the roof. His damage is still crazy. His ultimate nukes. He has anti-revival. Other great things. Disruption. Dragon Ball manipulation. Fantastic unit overall. We're going to throw Gogeta 4 somewhere in the back. Or I think I'm going to throw him in S+ tier. Fusion Warriors is back on the map. A lot of blue units running around. Blue, yellows. A very popular team as of the last 2 days. And I think that Gogeta has definitely gained some value with Fusion Warriors on the come up. Saiyans being a fantastic team again. And so on and so forth. Just his overall kit was really good. But he kind of lost value, a while ago when Fusions. When Fusions gains value, he's gaining value. He doesn't really have a lot of diverse setups, a lot of options. But, kit-wise, he's okay. He's an ult machine after the ultimate. He doesn't really have much to offer. And yeah, he's cool. He has blast armor control. 8 Vegeta, we're going to throw him above... I think I'm going to throw him above Evo Vegeta and below Bardock. I think this is a safe place for him. Don't really see anybody, in Tier 1 usually. You don't see any of these units / teams. You don't really see Ape. You don't see Bardock. Regen, you don't really see like that. If you're seeing Kid Buu, it's because he's on PO. There's obviously going to be those guys out there with main teams that grind, but more times than not, you're not seeing those teams. We're going to put LF First Form Frieza in S+ tier. I think this is still one of the best supportive units in the game. LOE is still fantastic. I say this all the time. They're not really, dropping. They're kind of in like a neutral state. The Dragon Ball manipulation is still very powerful. The green cards, the blue cards, the support on that team, the utility. LOE is still cracked. He also fits on powerful opponent, pair him alongside droids. I think Revival Frieza is still a fantastic option. And I'm going to put him above G4. I want to put him above G4. Even though Fusions is arguably a better team right now, I think personally, like individually, I would go with First Form over G4. We're going to put Broly somewhere in S tier. I think I want to put him above Blue Boys. This is like a hot take, boys. This is a hot take, and a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me, but I'm going to put Broly over Blue Boys right now. Having a lot of reds in the meta, blue is a good option. Broly's on movies, which is one of the best teams in the game. I understand Blue Boys is also on movies. You don't want to run them on movies because they're only good on mono purple. But yeah, Broly with his new platinum equip, the way what I've seen, he's definitely impressed me enough to throw him at the top of S tier. Dude can do ridiculous damage. He ramps up like a monster. If you know how to use him correctly, I think he is worthy of that top S tier spot there. I'm going to throw Zenkai, Vegeta somewhere. I think right here. We're going to throw him right behind Vegito Blue. These guys both on release. A little bit doubtful that they were going to be any good. But, you didn't really need to change much about their kits for them to be phenomenal. They were actually given little to no changes overall. But their kits were already great. They're, the updated stats, obviously, and the teams that they do fit on they're actually considerably core, right? VB on Blue, Blue, Yellow, VB on Future, VB on God Key, fantastic. And the same thing with this Vegeta, him on God Key is insane. A lot of blues running around, that snipe potential. I think VB, this Vegeta right here is just very, very valuable right now. Future Gohan, I'm going to throw him under Broly. I think this was the placement. In the last list, it was literally the same thing. Broly in a high S tier, but Future Gohan was ahead of him. I think I'm going to put Future Gohan lesser now. Movies just being a lot better team. Future Gohan being ran less on Future. A couple months ago, he was still, a high on Future, like a highly used unit, on Future. But with Yellow's less seen, I know Ultra Super Vegito just dropped, but you're not seeing as many Yellows other than that Vegito right now. Future Gohan is definitely off the map, off the radar. Can still be ran. For how old he is, he's still reliable. He can still, the supportive capabilities every time he's hits, every time he switches in. Gohan is still really good for how old he is, but his age is definitely shown. He's a puddle. He melts away anytime he's hit. Androids can easily just one combo him, or endurance isn't what it used to be on top of all that. Broly is on the best teams in the game. Best team in the game. Movies, I think, is a top tier team. So, Future has taken a step back. Still, arguably, top 5, top 7. Movies being top 3. Broly, you're going to take the spot. Sword of Cope, we're going to throw him... I want to throw him behind Revival Gohan, and this is also a hot take because I think individually, probably I would keep Sword of Hope over Revival Gohan, but the fact that Movies is where it's at right now, being one of the better teams in the game, I think that just that team value has put Revival Gohan over Sword of Hope. Sword of Hope, you're running him on Future, and that's pretty much it. So no team diversity. You're going to run him on Future. You're going to pair him alongside droids, Cell, and, not really using hybrids right now unless you're Prof. You're not running him on, I'm not sure what other respective teams. Vegeta Clan, because it doesn't exist. All that stuff. So, looking like a solid list overall. I'm going to throw another unit in Z tier. I'm going to throw Dragon Fist up here. Another recent unit. Movies being the top of tiers of teams, bro. His post gauge, dude, is disgusting. He pretty much one-shots every unit in the game. I mean, pretty close to, if not one-shots every unit in the game post gauge with his ultimate. He has that for 2 times. The first 2 times that he comes in, he nullifies cover change, so you ramp him up. And yeah, I mean, Dragon Fist has proven to be a monster. Don't think he is better than MUI. I've thought about this. In a lot of circumstances, MUI just has, not only is they're both featured on the best teams in the game, so we can't really use that argument, but it's more of like individuality. MUI has, more control. He has those auto clash wins. He has a lot of things where it's just like he's going to gain priority. He's going to take advantage. But Dragon Fist, if you get caught lacking, he's just going to deal loads of damage. All right, next up on the list, we're going to throw in FSK Gohan. I think I want to put him somewhere in S tier. He's definitely not lower than S tier, but just for the current meta right now, I think I'll put him right under Broly. Everything else under, these guys don't compare to FSK individually, but just for the meta-wise, you're not going to see FSK at all. The fact that he's making it this high, quote-unquote, higher S tier is simply for the fact of how good he is. So, you know, if you throw him on any team, his last man standing capability. Sun Family's actually a really great team right now with, you know, Dragon Fist, MUI being top tier units. Revival Gohan being a top tier unit. Could make a really solid Sun Fam team. So, we don't get actually a lot of talk about Sun Fam at the moment, but I do think that FSK still deserves, you know, somewhat of respect. Right now in the meta, he's not seen too often. We're going to throw Namek Goku. Probably higher tier 1. Wouldn't put him over. You know, he's a decent Saiyan unit. I don't think Namek Goku's bad at all, especially with the fact that Sun Family's still good. I'll probably put some respect on his name. I'm going to put him at the top of tier 1. I think he's, you know, I just talked about it. Sun Family's actually pretty decent nowadays. So, you know, he's got that team value, and he's probably one of the better blue Goku units, Sun Family units. We got, let us see, we got Ultra Gogeta. We're going to slap him above MUI Goku on Z tier. I believe he is the second best unit in the game right now, fitting on Fusion Warriors. You could throw him on movies, being both top tier teams. Blue, yellow, I was speaking about it before, is a counter to red, purple. Two of the best teams in the game. Ultra Gogeta has that lock-in capabilities. He has the type neutral. He has the nuke on ultimate. His blue card destroys your enemy's hands. He has the freaking blast armor, battle control. Just an all-around unit. He's very aggressive. He's very diverse team-wise. And yeah, a couple of the best teams in the game he does fit on. And it's not just one. It's not just two. It's about 3 to 4 teams that you could just slap him on. And he's very, very good. So his green card nullifies cover change. You know, you could argue that you could throw him in God tier, but I just don't think he compares with androids realistically. So very close, but not quite yet, right? We got Goku 4. I want to slap him at the top of S tier. You know, a lot of me wants to throw him on S plus tier realistically, but I don't think I'm going to be able to just for team reasonings, right? I mean, Sun Family is great right now, and that might be one of the things, but GT is not that great, and him individually is phenomenal. So if his team was a lot better, you know what? I'm gonna slap him on S plus tier. Goku 4 is fantastic. I was just talking about Sun Family a second ago. MUI, Dragon Fist, Super Saiyan 4 Dragon Fist, and we got Revival Gohan. That's a whole Sun Family build right there. Top tier setup. I'm not going to lie to you. This Goku's great individually. His reasons for lacking on a lot of previous lists simply has to do with teams, right? GT is just not it. Sun Family hasn't really been it before MUI and or Dragon Fist, but because of that, I think this guy, you know, he has a platinum item that really amplifies that pure damage as well. So ultimate, blue card, everything really hits. The cover rescue, really good unit overall. Goten probably deserving somewhere lower tier 1. I'm gonna throw him behind Bardock. I think I'll throw him behind Bardock in tier 1. Super Vegito, I'm gonna throw him. Fusions is very good right now. I'm gonna throw him at the back end of S plus. I think, you know, Koron Mono Purple. You could argue these Koron fusions, right? Fusions being, you know, higher value right now because they just received some buffs. Ultra Gogeta, Ultra Super Vegito. I do think that he has a lot of team value as well. Gogeta Blue is just dead. He's going to be somewhere in tier 1, but I do think he's above a lot of these other dudes. I think I'll throw him behind Ape, above Evolution Vegito. CMZ, we're going to throw him somewhere in S tier, still fantastic. I think I'm going to put him above FSK. Future is a great team. Red, you know, double reds, triple reds is actually more commonly seen than not. Being PO is great, being Future is great, being God Key is great. A lot of great, fantastic teams right now. But his individual utility is really good. His ultimate hits really hard. Haven't used him in a minute. I just know he's very solid still, but, you know, obviously he's not being seen too much. Jiren is going to be somewhere in S tier. I'm going to throw him above FSK. I believe I want to do this. Yes, I believe I want to do this. Jiren is definitely a slept-on unit. I have seen Jiren do great things. Powerful opponent, gaining a lot of value. Cell, droids, Broly. powerful opponents is a fantastic team, and I think his main deal is being on USS, right? But on PO, you got also Revival Frieza we have to take into consideration. To think about it, I have a lot of units that I need to throw on this list before I forget. Look at that. Revival Frieza is a contender for best units in the game as well. By the way, LOE is still fantastic if you guys didn't hear it enough. We're going to throw Revival Frieza somewhere in S+ tier. Probably, I do want to say above G4. This is all individual as well. I think G4 is only, thing that's keeping him. I think I would still put him in S+, just farther back. Fusions didn't just get a buff. But Revival Frieza has Revival. He fits on PO, Droids, First Form Frieza, LOE. Don't want to go through LOE multiple times. Dragon Ball Disruption, best utility, best support in the game. That team is cracked. Support, just LOE, PO, fantastic synergy, right? But yeah, I don't know if that'd be a hot take or not. We're going to put Golden Frieza somewhere in S+ tier. Dude is still freaking broken. All the lizards very close to each other. I'm going to put Golden Lizard right there. I'm going to put Tapion actually a lot higher tier than you guys think. We're going to throw him at the top of S+. Is that how we're feeling? I was stating it multiple times. Tapion, Super Saiyan 3, Dragon Fist were the glue that movies needed. And right now, I think it is one of the best teams in the game. The support, his green card nullifies cover change. When he dies, he does damage to AoE damage to the entire enemy team. Would I put him over VB? Probably not. I'm going to throw VB ahead of him. Would I put Vegeta above him? Just because of team value. I think individually he's fantastic as well, but just because of team value, I'm going to put him right there. This is really how I'm feeling right now. Yes, this is exactly how I'm feeling right now. Okay. Ultra Goku. Where do we put Ultra Goku? He's in a really weird spot because of teams, and I'm not going to lie, we'll probably put him back here because of teams right now. You just do not see Ultra Kaioken Goku. USS, you see him on God Key pretty much. You'll see him on God Key, definitely. But am I really going to put Gogeta 4 above Kaioken? Like, right now, I think this is the case, bro. Ultra Kaioken has the sad case of just no team. It's like literally just God Key. Literally just God Key. I think individually, I'd still easily put him up here. Like, the top of S+ tier to Z tier. But just teams right now is making him lack. So I have to put him behind all the lizards. And it's either... This is really tough because I don't really like G4 like that. I'm respecting him because of his team right now. I'm going to throw Ultra Kaioken above G4. Let's be real. Ultra Kaioken would solo G4. We're going to put Whis very high tiered, being on red, purple, just being accessible on many teams, supplying green cards for a lot of important units that can use green cards, disruption, support. He's just ridiculous. So he actually could take a hit very well too, depending on stars, depending on, the team, but overall, I think I'll put him behind Revival Gohan. I think this is a fair placement right there. I think I had Whis in front of Tapion in the previous list, so this is a nice change of pace. I do believe Movies is up there. It's hard to really gauge the best when they all feel like the best. So the top three teams, I think Movies is outshining red, purple at the moment. Final Form Frieza, we're gonna throw him like right here in S+ tier, and then we got Ultra Super Vegito in Z tier, boys. Fourth, it's arguable. I think a lot of these placements, you guys, even though you might disagree or agree with some of them, they're interchangeable within their tiers. And I think second, third, and fourth unit, these guys right here are all interchangeable depending on what your argument is. But I'm gonna put Ultra Super Vegito as third best unit in the game right now. His utility, his tanking, his damage dealing, the teams that he's fit on, he counters. He's on blue, yellow. He's on fusions. Not really too many team options, but being able to be paired alongside Ultra Gogeta, being paired alongside MUI, Dragon Fist, any Saiyan unit, I think he has a lot of access to top tier units, top tier teams. his pure utility with, you know, debuffs and the way he ramps up damage wise, his type neutral ult when an enemy or when you have a battle member that's dead comes in clutch more than not. He has a counter. So overall, he's fantastic, and I've quite fond of using him, and I think he's very meta right now. So this is going to be the official list, you guys. Let me zoom out so you guys can see everything potentially here. And yeah, this is really how I'm feeling. Let me know what you guys think. I think, like I said, a lot of these things can be interchangeable within their tiers, but these are my respective opinions on units, not only based off teams, but also individually. So I've definitely taken both of things in consideration. So things can be moved on around based on what you guys think better teams are, and so on and so forth. But let me know what you guys think. Drop a like if you guys haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay frosty, boys, and I'm out.
Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait on me. No.